Okay, y'all. So I figured out how to go live um horizontal and yeah. Yeah, I figured out how to do the live streaming going from the horizontal and the vertical at the same time. Okay. And so yeah. Yeah, today I need to make sure. It says that we're live and now it's like I need another screen, you guys. I know. Every time y'all talk to me, y'all like, girl, you keep finding stuff to buy. But last week we were doing going live Monday through Friday. We're doing that. After work today is Martin Luther King. You know, we didn't go to work today. We didn't go to work. We did our hair today. Yes, we did. But we didn't go to work today. But we was figuring out over the weekend how to do it, and now we done figured it out. Because we was going live last week and it wasn't happening the way I thought it was supposed to be happening. Right? So now it's working. Now it's working. But now we need two screens. Because yeah, but we didn't got it together. Today, y'all, today, we're talking about seeing yourself in the success. I feel like last week we talked about all the different things that contribute to you maybe procrastinating or overthinking your goals and different things of that nature. Today, we're going to be talking about mindset shifts to see yourself in the success. I feel like it's very important for you to do that. If you believe and you can see, like we did our vision boards. Let me take a step back. We did our vision boards, right? Did our vision boards. We did our end of the year review, setting goals, like setting tangible and actionable goals and things like that. And so right now in my planner, I have a picture of my vision board, and I hope you made one. But something that everyone always say that you're supposed to do for your vision board is put like a picture of yourself in there, or maybe use AI to try to just see yourself doing it. And the other part is to put your vision board visibly somewhere where you'll always see it. So maybe like the kitchen refrigerator, or the you in your bathroom when you get ready for work every day, or in your planner on the dashboard. You know, you put your vision board somewhere where you're going to interact with it every day, so that it's not something that you just make and just set it aside. I actually did try to also make it a phone a cover screen or whatever for my phone, but I feel like the apps cover it up, and so I don't get to see it, but it's still there. But just maximizing the amount of places that you're putting your vision board. But when you make your vision board, put like your picture. So if you could put like a little Photoshop, put your picture on top of the different things, or just what does it look like for you to have it, or maybe finding people that look like you so that you can do whatever it is. Oh, thank you so much. But yeah, so with your vision board, make sure that you can actually like see yourself in the vision. Okay. And then the other thing is, like, after you make your vision board, I like to put something on my vision board that's actually cute and easy, something that's not going to take that long for me to try to achieve. So I put that planner, knowing that I would have that planner for Christmas, right? I put the planner on there because I knew I would get it for Christmas. But the thing is, if one thing came true on your vision board already, then you automatically feel like everything else is going to align and happen for you as well. The other thing is, you need to take tangible steps. Okay. Now, if you don't know what different goals and things of that nature it might be, like on here, I have like, I want to get a townhouse or something like that. So I was going to take some real estate classes, start looking and talking and, falling in somebody's Thank you. Talking to some real estate people, real estate agents to see if I can get a townhouse and things like that because I need the space. So it's just like taking those steps. Okay. I feel like we make the vision boards and we oftentimes feel like it's unrealistic for us, right? It's unrealistic. Sometimes we're putting things on there that's more of a 10-year goal instead of a, 1 year, because it's supposed to be 1 year for your goals, right? So it's just like, what is unrealistic though? Who is the definitive person to tell you whether or not your goals are unrealistic? Because I feel like if you can think it, you can achieve it. Like if you believe it, you can make it happen. It's just a matter of setting yourself up, like we talked about last week, setting yourself up with small things that you can do, right? So you can make it real. Excuse me. So, like if you wanted to be a singer, you would need to manifest and start talking to people who work in the music industry, right? You need to align yourself with the different decisions that you need to make so that you can make your dream a reality. Don't put things on there like, oh, I want to get a record deal, or I want to do this, I want to do that, but you don't have a vehicle to get you to whatever it is that you want. Another way that you can see yourself in the manifestation is to actually go to the neighborhoods, right? Go to the neighborhoods, go to the department stores, and be around that energy as much as possible. A lot of people, like I told y'all last week, to change your address, change your job, change what you look at every day. Because if you change your environment and what you're consuming on a regular day basis, you're automatically rise to the level, right? If you're in a different environment and it requires you to wear suits and ties and things of that nature, then you're going to rise to that occasion. And then you'll naturally seek those things out because it becomes a part of you as opposed to something that you just felt like you should have, or you trying to get it for clout or whatever the case may be. So try to make your manifestation feel as natural as possible to you. It needs to feel natural. You have to see it every day. You have to put yourself in there, align yourself with the people that you need, right? Hold on. The other thing is, it's not about being ready. So last week we talked about procrastination. We talked about overthinking. We talked about all of these different things as it relates to why we feel like we're blocking. And I feel like the blockages is going to be internal. It's an internal blockage that we feel like we can't make it happen. We feel like we're not ready. And I feel like you get ready when you start taking those actions, when you start doing what you need to do. And those actions, like, it depends on what it is. I would definitely use ChatGPT to figure out what it is. But I mean, some stuff is common sense, right? Common sense. If you're living at home with your parents, first we need a job and we need a car. You need a car. Okay, but the car and the job is kind of like, you need the money for the car, right? You need the money for the car, but you need the car to go to work. You see what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like you need to get one or the other. Try to get both if you could at the same time. Do what you have to do, right? But it's just kind of like, we have to set ourselves up, start thinking long term. I feel like a lot of times, we have these dreams, we have these ambitions, but we're looking at the short term. We're looking at, because of whatever we're going through is so excruciatingly painful in that moment. We're like, what can I do right now? I need to make some bread right now. I need to do this right now. But it's just kind of like, what is the long-term thing, and it's hard to think long-term when you're in scarcity and things of that nature, but it's just kind of like we have to think about the long-term consequences of our actions and things of that nature. So don't just do something just because you're in scarcity mode, just because, you know what I mean? Some things we do have to do right in the beginning just to make sure that we're getting all of our needs met. But when you know better, right, you do better, right? When you have that level of awareness, then you can make better decisions for yourself. But you're going to have to make a decision. Yeah. We don't want to be stuck in our head for too long. Like, that's what we talked about last week. Okay. The other thing is, sometimes we often think that other people have the things because they're luckier, or they know some people and different things of that nature. But what I've learned is that nothing is off limits. right? There's nothing off limits. Anybody can have whatever it is that they want to have if they're willing to do the work to get there, right? Just because somebody else has something, them having something is proof in itself that you are able to have it as well. So it's not about, oh, they got this, they got that. It's like, what are you going to do to materialize this into your, you might need to become their friend. You might need to do, XYZ so that you can make these things. Like, what blockages do you have that are impeding on you being able to get over there and get whatever it is that you feel like they have? You know what I mean? But what if what they have is not right for you, right? You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, nothing is off limits. You can have whatever it is that you want to have, whatever you believe is in your path, right? But we want to be careful into not just automatically saying, oh, they have something and I want that. I want to feel that. You know what I mean? I'm going to go and do whatever they did, thinking that you'll have the same type of success. Your success might look different. Your path to success might be different. It's a whole bunch of different variables. But I feel like if there's anything that you see, you are more than likely able to get it. Okay, nothing is off limits. Also, the limit does not exist. My favorite quote from Mean Girls, the movie. Yes, the limit does not exist. I don't believe that anything, like, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You can be whoever it is that you want to be. You just have to be able to put, one foot in front of the other and just put that work in. Another mindset shift is that it's taking too long. We talked about that last week. It's taking too long. You know what I mean? I want to manifest. I want to bring things into my life, but it's just not happening in the time that I feel like it should be happening, And I ain't gonna lie, I struggle with that as well because I like to plan. I like to strategize. I like to really it's hard to articulate sometimes, but it's just like, it's supposed to happen according to the schedule. But sometimes it don't happen according to the schedule, right? The way, if I would have had it my way, I would have been 27, married, kids at 30. You know what I'm saying? I'm 32, right? And we are chilling with this dog, okay? And so it's just kind of like, things happen for you instead of to you. And I feel like it happens on the timeline that it's supposed to, at 27, I don't think that I would have been able to be whatever I needed to be married. You see what I'm saying? I don't think I would have had that level of awareness that I now have. So it's just kind of like, we're working on it. It's a work in progress. And we're trusting the timing. We're trusting God's timing. Trusting that, whatever he got planned for us, it's better. It's always going to be better. Because sometimes we think we got it. We planned it up real good. But when you see how we unfold, you're like, yes. You know what I mean? You do know what you're talking about. Okay, show me something new, right? The other thing is that, confidence. I'm not going to lie. You're going to have to fake it until you make it, right? Because the confidence, it comes. I'm not going to lie. When you first start, it's like, oh my God, that could never, right? But you start putting the face on, you start putting the hair together, and you're like, actually, I see it. I just needed to put a little effort onto myself, and I feel like when you look good, you put forth that self-care, that whatever for yourself, then you can automatically start seeing, okay, well, yeah, I am worthy. Not saying that we're not worthy because we're not all done up and everything like that, but just taking care of yourself. That self-care really, really matters, right? Because it communicates to yourself that you're worth caring for, taking care of, like you have to keep yourself up. When you start just letting yourself go, then yeah, your sense of self-worth is going to decline. I do feel like sometimes we say when you look good, you feel good as a dismissive way for our emotions, Like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I'm from the South. So every time they say when you look good, you feel good, they want you to put on a face and just move on and just smile and everything. Just, just let it go, let bygones be bygones and not dealing with our problems. And I feel like there can be a balance. You know what I mean? You can deal with things under the covers, but at the same time, you do have to put forth that effort. You really do. And you might have to fake it till you make it, just a little bit, but don't put too much energy, right, into faking it that you forget to actually make it. Oh, excuse me. Yes. So you want to make sure there's a balance. There's a balance. And I feel also faking it till you make it is just kind of like, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I do not feel like, I do not be feeling like going to work. I don't be feeling like doing anything, right? I just want to chill. I just want to relax. I ain't gonna lie, I just want to be a couch potato, right? And I would be a couch potato, but it's like after I put my face together, you know what I mean? I feel like not enough people saw me today, right? I don't think I saw it. I see it and I look good, but not enough people have seen, they have not heard. And I need to do, you know what I mean? Like, you just feel better. You get that confidence boost. You feel like, like you just feel it in your spirit. And so that's what I mean, like, fake it till you make it. Sometimes you got to put a little red lip on. Put a little lip on and you might feel a little bit better, because it's like you start with a little foundation. Okay. You start with a little foundation. Before you know it, you doing your brows. Right? And if you're doing your brows, you got to put a little eyeliner, a little, just to add a little shadow on the eye. We need to put a little eye on there, right? And then after you do your eyeshadow, put a little eyeliner. You can put the bronzer on there, girl. You're putting the bronzer on. Put the bronzer on. Now you got to get a little lip liner. You got to separate lip liner. Then you got to get the lip gloss, right? Got to get the lip gloss. And then you know what? We need that setting spray. And then after that, you know what else we could do? We can go on and take our hair down, right? It was in the flexi rods. It was in the curlers. Now we got to take it down. We got to put a little curl to it. You know what I mean? Put a little heat, just a little bit. Put a little heat, or if we're doing the curly, add a little mousse or something. A little diffuser, right? A little perfume. Put a little perfume on. Before you know it, you need an outfit. Now we got to put an outfit on. We need a little something, give you a little something that we can see, hear, and feel. You know what I mean? So you just fake it till you make it. I ain't gonna lie. That's how it starts. That's how you start. When you fake it till you make it, before you know it, you done made it. You made it. That's how, like, if I could just get dressed for the day, then maybe I could just go get in my car, right? If I get in my car and drive, before you know it, I'll be at work. All right. And while I'm at work, we just gonna do a little 1-2 and we're coming home, right? We're coming home. We're not doing too much. Just a hello. Email, type, done. Moving on. So sometimes you just have to literally, like, that's how I trick myself into doing stuff. Oh, we just gonna do this. We're just gonna do this one step. It's called the one step, but it's really all the steps. You know what I mean? We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do that. We're gonna just add this. And before you know it, you did the whole thing. That's my trick for faking it. You know what I mean? And then the other part is like confidence. Is like you build confidence over time. In my last videos, I talked about doing one thing over and over and over again. And by the time you finish doing it over and over, repetition, then you're able to show you, hey, I did something over and over and over again. Like right now, I'm challenging myself to live stream every day, every weekday, okay? Every weekday after work, whether we go to work or not, you know what I mean? Because I'm the type of person who will not go to work, just, you know what I mean? So I have to set strict goals, strict plans, strict actionable steps for myself. But it's just kind of like we're doing it over and over and over again. So last week we made it to 5 days in a row where we went live stream Monday through Friday. Today is Monday. We're starting a new week. So it's just like we do things over and over and over again. Someone said that I look good with my makeup. Listen, we got good with the makeup because we practice every single day. Like we put that together every single day. We found out what colors look for us. Look good for us. We found out what the colors are. We found out we experiment with different things, like trying our hair, okay, so boo, I'm not the best at roller sets. Okay. I'm not the best at roller sets. All right. My bonnet hair dryer died on me. So I got to get another dryer. I got to get a whole new dryer. Okay. So that happened. Right. Then we tried lace front wigs. Don't like the lace front wig because we can still see a little, you know what I mean? It's just not giving for me. right? And so now we bleached our hair. We did. And I love the color. But you know what? We need a protective style. We need a protective style because we did have to take some inches off. We did. And you know what? We have some more hair coming, and it's going to be Burmese curly hair, right? And we're going to, because we did really good coloring some bundles I had laying around. Let's get some more hair, right? And so it's just kind of like, it's okay to try different things. And once you see that you're successful doing one thing, right, then you know you can do something else. And even if you're not successful, because I'm not going to lie, we definitely have not had wins the entire time. Definitely have not had wins. But with the losses, you learn what it takes to win. Maybe we need to make a different decision. Maybe we need to try something else. And I keep trying until something sticks, until something works, until something shows some type of a fruit, something viable. And then that's how we know that we are on the right track. So oftentimes we think we have to win all the time. We have to be successful all the time. And that success is going to be linear, but it's not always going to be linear. It's going to be kind of messed up, going to be jagged, a little, you know what I mean? A little crooked sometimes, but you know, those wrong turns let you know, well, okay, we need to go back and try something else, you know? And I feel like the mindset shift we also need to have is never be afraid to try, okay? Or to try different things. Always be trying to figure something out, okay? Because I feel like you get this no, you get this rejection, but you're one yes away from having success. You're one yes away from having your dreams and your goals and your ambitions, everything being fulfilled. Like you're one. All you need is one. Literally. You literally need just one opportunity. Okay? We're not trying to we just need one foot through the door. That's all we need. Okay, because if you get one foot through the door, right, you're going to slide in. You're going to slide in. Before you know it, you're going to go in, start talking to people, shaking hands, rubbing shoulders, and it's easy breezy, lemon squeezy after that, right? So that's the mindset shift, right? Okay. The other one is I'll start when we feel safe. I'm not going to lie. Today, we was a little worried because we figured out how to do live streaming on horizontal and whatever at the same time, right? And so I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I'd be a little worried about the short speed because I'd be a little worried, right? But it's just kind of like, you know, visibility, sorry. Y'all know I can't talk. Woo! Anyway, visibility sometimes does not make me feel safe because you just never know how things are going to go. But I feel like as I'm doing this over and over and over again, I'm starting to feel more comfortable on the thing. The only thing is, though, I have to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes the topic don't be given, right? And we run off on the rails and everything like that. But I feel like we're not aiming for perfection. Okay, because this is coming from a perfectionist. I like for everything. I want all the hairs in one out. You know what I'm saying? When I look in the camera, I want every hair in the order that it's supposed to be. It's that Mississippi upbringing. We have to have everything in order. You know what I mean? And so when things are not in order, when things are messy, when things are not it's just not given polished, poised, you know, demure. It's not giving that. And I just be like, I don't like that. I don't like, you know, not knowing what I'm gonna talk about, not feeling the topic at hand. And then you just don't know what to expect, right? Because it's different from something that we've done before, right? And so it's just kind of like, you know, it'll be different until you make it familiar. Right? So the more you practice, the more you're putting time in, the more research you do, the more action steps it takes, then you will find, you know, that this is familiar. I feel like we fear the unfamiliar because we automatically think that it's going to be something negative or it's going to be something hurtful, you know, and I feel like the main factor or motivator that we have is often fear-based. We're often trying to keep things from happening to us. And that is what leads us to make action. We'll probably make those actions quicker than we did like if something was good to happen to us. Because if it was good, you'd be like, well, what do you want in return? You know, then why are you being nice to me and things of that nature? And that sucks. But it's just like, that's how we think, and that's how we're motivated to take action, right? If you look up marketing and advertising, they'll tell you that people are more likely to buy something right now if they knew, like if they felt like, you know, something bad was going to happen to them. So that's why you have a lot of fear mongering. That's why you have a lot of, you know, just fear-based tactics on the news and different things of that nature, because it's all designed to make you feel and want you to do something right away. They want you to feel the way they feel. They want you to believe what they believe. They want you to sign up for whatever it is they want you to sign up right now, right? So that this doesn't happen to you. Like, that's all it is, right? So it's just kind of like we have to work on, you know, fixing our nervous system and feeling safe in doing the unfamiliar, even if we don't know how it's going to turn out, even if we don't know how it's going to look, even though we're just a little worried. You know what I mean? We have to look for ways, okay, to, you know, calm our nervous system. I ain't gonna lie. Something that helps me, my nervous system, when I'm stressed out, it's actually cleaning. It's actually cleaning, wiping stuff down and putting stuff in trash bags, throwing stuff out. And then also like having that clear space, right? Having clear space, having things it just makes me feel at ease. I don't know what the psychology and science is all on it, but it's just kind of like, I feel so much better, you guys, so much better when I see that there's clear space, open space. It just makes my brain just feel so much at ease. You know what I mean? So maybe cleaning up, right? Or even like, I like to go to the beach. We did it, you know, do that for New Year's, but also like the pool or just having running water. I have this habit of like, I'll be doing something and the water will be running. Yeah. I don't know. And then like taking a long shower or bath or whatever, I like to really meditate, and it just calms me down. The waters just calm me down. So I feel like you have to find something. Also, like on the phone to go to sleep, I listen to rain or I listen to the ocean, and I just feel so at ease. We drift right off to sleep. All that stress just go away, right? So you have to find out what works for you and your nervous system, you know, so that you can feel safe. You know, I also tried the EFT tapping. That helps as well. Just tapping, you know, and I might link some things in the description or whatever for you to go back and see some people that do EFT tapping. But I think that that's really, really good. Something that I was reading, the body keeps score. Y'all know I'm doing my Invisalign, and it's just, you know, anyway. So the body keeps score. So basically, when you're having like any type of trauma, it gets stored in the body, you know. And I've been watching my dog. She just do this little shaking thing that she do, but that's how she releases trauma, right? So every time something happened, or just, I don't know, she just be shaking all the time. I don't know. She just do this little shake. And so I'm like, oh, that's her, you know, response. You know, we should shake more. You know, we should move our bodies more. That could be exercise. That could be, you know, yoga. That could be anything, but we need dancing. It could be anything, you know what I mean, to get our nervous system regulated. Okay. Another thing is not knowing how to do something. Not knowing how to do something will hold you back. Right. And me, it's like, if I don't know something, I need to figure it out. So I'm always researching, you know, but I feel like there's not enough research that you can do, or never enough. Okay. Never enough research, because there'll always be something that you don't know. There'll be always something that you don't know. And it's this extra steps. And I don't like extra steps. Okay. I just want to do step 1, 2, and 3, but it seemed like it's always an extra step. It's always, you know what I'm saying? You do the steps that they told you, the prescribed steps, and then it's extra steps on top of the steps that you was already doing. So it's like, was it 3 steps? Or was it 4? Was it 5? Okay, because somebody's math is off. Because if we're doing the 3 step, we're doing the 3 step. Okay. And we're supposed to have the result after we do the 3-step. Okay. But you're saying that we have to do some extra steps. And I'm not understanding that. I'm not understanding it. I'm not getting that. You know, I'm confused. Very much so. Very, very much so. Okay. The other part is the version of me is too far away. You know, feeling like, how could I ever, like, you have this higher self, this higher vision of yourself on a pedestal. You have your vision board on a pedestal, and it feels so far away from you. Like, this could never happen to you. This could never be, and different things of that nature. That's why you have to put yourself into the vision. You have to put yourself in the manifestation. That means either you're going to put your picture in there. And then when you look at your vision board, you really look at it, visualize yourself having the things that you want. You know what I mean? That's the goal, to visualize and to actually feel, right? So how would you feel if you got your house? How would you feel if you got this new car? What would it smell like? What kind of leather is it? You see what I'm saying? How many bedrooms do you have in there? You know, do you have a backyard? You have some land? You know what I mean? Like, do you have a pool in the back? How many bathrooms? You know, how is your toilet? When you do your water pressure, how is that going? You know, yeah. So you have to think about all these different things. Like, I like to visualize, like I'm standing outside on the front porch, smelling the grass, the green, you hear the birds chirping, right? That's how you visualize. You see yourself there. You see yourself in there. You see yourself holding the keys like that. You see what I'm saying? Pick somebody who have a skin tone or a hand that look like yours. You know, put your face over there. You know, see yourself in the car. You know, manifest driving the car. Is it a manual? Is it manual? Is it automatic? Front wheel, back wheels? I like sports cars. You know what I'm saying? So is it premium? Like, what exactly are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know all the mechanics, but I know that I can't drive I can't drive a manual, but I can drive automatic. My mom tried to teach me how to drive a manual, and I think I shifted gears too quickly and hit the gas too quickly for her and couldn't find the brake. And I was signed up for driving school because nobody wanted to teach me. Like, I think my dad tried to teach me. He had one of those low riders, and I couldn't fit, like my feet couldn't touch the pedal or whatever. And so I was sitting on telephone books, and I don't know, we were driving down a hill and I almost hit a tree. He was telling me to turn the wheel, and I was turning the wheel, but it was a big wheel because it's one of them low rider things. You know what I'm saying? He liked to do those hot rods. And so I didn't turn it quick enough, and he had to yank it. Oh, Lord. But do you see what I'm saying? You have to visualize. You see how I painted a picture for you? You need to paint a picture for your manifestation. Okay? Because I like to ride sports cars, but sports cars have a tendency to be on the ground. So when I'm driving, I'm like, ooh, what is that sound? What is that sound? That's the road, right? So do you hear the road when you're driving? Right? Is it a convertible or not a convertible? Do you feel the wind brushing through your hair as you're driving? You know what I'm saying? Do you have your dog in the seat with you? Okay. Is the trunk in the front or the back? You see what I'm saying? Do you have enough space to put bags and shopping bags in the car with you? You see what I'm saying? Think about all those different things. That new car smell. Do you smell that? You know what I mean? Are you going to decorate the inside of your car? Or are you just going to leave it regular? You know, think about all these different things for your vision. You know, you have a business. Say you want to have a business. Where is the business located at? You know what I mean? What is all the different things, the different components for your business? What color paint, what swatches are you putting on the walls? You know, is it going to be cushion seat, leather seat? What kind of seats is it going to be for your business? Are you going to have, what kind of business cards are you going to have? All these different things can help you visualize your manifestation, right? Visualizing your manifestation, seeing yourself in it. Right? So you have your business, you know, what kind of air freshener, diffusers are you going to have? What is the ambiance? How do you want customers to feel when you're walking through the doors of your business? You see what I'm saying? What is the ambiance? What is the energy? What music is playing? Okay, how are you going to have that set up? Okay, are you going to have a grass wall or are you going to have a regular? You know, are you going to come up with something different? What architect are you working with? Who is the contractor? All these different things you need to be thinking about for your vision. You know, sometimes it's too far away. No, you need to make it here. Start thinking about what it is here. How does it feel? What does it look like? You know, walk around the energy, like just, you know, like put yourself in the space and just start thinking about stuff, you know? Yeah, like the paint swatches, you know, are you going to do what kind of, is it going to be a gold or silver, platinum? Like what kind of handlebars you going to have in there? Like, you know, what kind of plants are you going to have? Like, you know, what uniforms are the people going to be wearing in the business? Like, are they going to have these type of, you know, are you going to have a little logo? Like what exactly are you going to do? Like think about all of that. Put yourself, make it real, make it feel real to you, because manifesting and having a vision is all built on your feelings. So as long as you feel it, you know what I mean, in your spirit, in your soul, that you know it's sure to happen because you felt it. Okay, the brain can't tell whether or not it's real or not. It's all about how you feel. Because you felt this, then is more likely to accept something. That's why we do those subliminals and things of that nature. Subliminals and affirmations, so that you can say things and repeat things over and over and over to yourself. And so as you think about this more often, as you say it, you affirm it more often, you feel it more often, before you know it, is here. It's going to be here. It's going to be right there. Okay, because you already said that we was going to have this type of grass. Okay, we already talked to the contractor. We talked to the plumbers about the water pressure. You know, we already got this paint swatches. What kind of tiles you going to have in there? You see what I'm saying? So it's just like all these different things, like just seeing yourself in the vision. Okay, and then oftentimes what, you know, people can't see it. They just feel like, say, luxury is too far away. Something that you can do is go to the store. Just go to the store and walk around, right? Walk around, or people watch. People watch. Like you feel like you might not fit into an environment or whatever the case may be. People watch. Go to the park, go to the mall, go where people are like rich, right? And just sit there and see what they got on. Right? I like to do Pinterest. Okay. And in my glow up series, we talked about building a wardrobe, right? Building a wardrobe. Another thing you can do is look on Instagram. We're on Instagram already. Find people who have the same body type as you, right? The same body type, the same silhouette, right? And style. And just, especially like if you don't have a style, you don't know what you like to do and everything like that, because I'm very eclectic, but I'm trying to organize my eclecticness into something that is, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I've been cycling out all of my old clothes. And so we're really starting fresh. And so, yeah, but at the same time, we're working on body positivity, right? Because, you know, we're not to say that we're chunky, but we're up there in our weight. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just kind of like, for me, it's all about health. And it's just like seeing yourself in the thing. I feel like the 2000s did a number on me. And so I'm just working on that, right? Because it's like, you know, I'm looking in the mirror like, girl, you look good. God, you look good. You're fine, you know? But, and then the clothes are fitting good. Everything's good. But it's just like sometimes you just feel a little chunky. Like you just feel a little, you know, and I feel like that's normal. I feel like it's normal. It is what it is. But I just, you know, it's just, I'm learning on like, and we're going to talk about this in February, but just maintaining confidence. You know, confidence, self-love, no matter what it is, you know, and then it's just kind of like, we're never going to be stick thin. Okay. We're not going to be stick thin. We're not going to be, because that's not the type of body type that we have. You see what I'm saying? And so we're accepting that, but at the same time, we don't want to make excuses, but at the same time, we want to be healthy. So it's just like all these different caveats, but I feel like I would feel better if we dressed for the body type. You know what I mean? And appreciated the body type. And so that's why I wanted to, we picked out outfits. We did our colors and everything. And I'm even noticing that I really, really enjoy these colors, right? Enjoying the colors. And so, look on Instagram, look on Pinterest, find people who have body types and silhouettes just like you and dress like them. Easy, easy, easy. And it's just like you can add little bits and pieces of yourself, and then it becomes a part of you, but it's just kind of like make it feel natural to you. So it's not like, oh, I'm just copying outfits and things of that nature like they did. But it's just kind of like you need to see yourself. Like, is that something you really see yourself wearing? How would it look on me? Because sometimes we pick people, and it doesn't look the same, So it's just kind of like, it's easier to see yourself in the vision when you level up yourself. You know what I mean? Like when you level up yourself, it could be not just clothes and weight loss and everything like that. It could be getting the education, right? So that you feel like you are well, read on whatever it is that you're talking. Like you don't want to go to the interview. You don't want to go to the networking spaces and you don't know what you're talking about. Right? So maybe just read a book, watch a YouTube video. That's what I do, but some people actually have to read and stuff. Like when I was in school, I was reading, but at the same time, they had us in 8 classes a day. You think I'm going to read all of that stuff for all of the classes? No. Sometimes you just gotta work it out. Put a little elbow grease in there, get the conversation going, because it was a conversation, because we read the text and talk about it in class. All right. So as long as we can have a good conversation, right? Read a little bit, get a little bit. Teacher gonna talk and she gonna cover, as long as we keep the dialogue open, we're good. We can float on by. You know what I mean? That's people skills. And they don't teach that in school no more. They don't teach that no more. They don't teach that. And it's sad because, we often think that our success is going to come from the hard work. And it is the hard work. But at the same time, something that is also kind of hard is communicating with people, being able to communicate with people, being able to relate to other people, being able to that's a full-time job. That's a full-time job, talking to people and relating and having a conversation, empathy, all of these different things, being a people person, being the personality hire, that is a lot of work because you actually have to remember stuff about people. You know what I'm saying? You have to remember a little bit. You have to write it down and just, you know what I mean? And just keep the energy going. So it's just kind of like, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. But I feel like if there's a gap in the learning and the communication, all you really have to do is just people watching YouTube University, right? That's all you really have to do. I feel like a lot of people have courses. They have these courses, they have these different trainings and things on how to make things happen into your reality and different things of that nature. But it's just kind of like, you might just have to fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Listen, fake it till you make it. You people watch, you see how they relate, you see how they react and interact with each other. And then you see how they dress and you see how they talk, you see how they move, and you see all these different things. Before you know it, you just change one thing at a time. Just change one thing, just a duly noted. Take one thing and then you go in order, right? What is one thing that we can do? What is one thing that we can implement? What is one action we can take? You see what I'm saying? And then before you know it, you'll be walking, breathing, living, smelling like your higher self, So picture yourself in the vision. You have to be in the vision. You have to see yourself, right? And then the other part is like, you see yourself in it and then you just embody it. You embody it. You body it. Body, hair, have body, all of that, listen, it'll come natural because you want your manifestation, you want your vision to become natural to you. Okay. I think that's it. I feel like this is just a gentle reminder because today is Martin Luther King Day. You know, he had a dream. He had a dream, and we're closer to his dream. But the thing is, like I gave a sermon to the kids, it's like he made his dream happen, and it was diligent. He was, you know, consistently taking steps toward it, you know, and he wasn't alone. He wasn't alone either. It wasn't just him. So it's just like, you know, finding those aligned connections to help you reach your goals, seeking out, you know, people who have already walked that path or similar, or also kind of know what you're going through. Seek out the content, you know, that will feed your soul, because I feel like there's a lot of content, you know, that is taking more, like draining more of your energy than putting back, you know. So look for those soulful connections, and I feel like you'll find and reach your goals a little bit more quicker. Okay, so I hope this video made sense, y'all. We will be going live Monday through Friday. Okay, Monday through Friday on YouTube, and apparently I can go YouTube on TikTok. I don't know. I was just playing around. I don't know. But that's too much. We just figured out how to make this work. Okay. There were some different steps that we were, I told you the step 1, 2, 3. It was some different steps. So it's just kind of like, we're doing the best that we can. So yeah, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. You know, I will have timestamps. So if you want to go back and watch, I always have the timestamps on there, and everything like that. But we'll be doing Monday through Friday, live streaming on YouTube, vertical, that's the regular, and then the shorts as well. So we'll be doing live streaming that way. And then if we could figure out TikTok, I might do that later. Okay, it took me all weekend to figure this out. So yes, I will